in Salem. I've raised 3 children. Well, I have 1 adult child, 2 smaller children who are here with me tonight observing. And I've always been in Salem. We are the state capital here, and people come here from all over the state to participate at the legislature. We have to keep that in mind. Unfortunately, I've often had to apologize for the way things are run in Salem and the rampant racism, misogyny, ableism that exists on our streets. I'd like to reiterate and reemphasize what others have said before me. The fact that a counselor in my community felt it appropriate to post as he did is unacceptable. It directly affected members of my family's safety. And that was not the counselor's first eager comment or post. His views have been loud and clear for quite some time, and folks have not been listening. Censuring and accepting this counselor's resignation is not enough, as was made obvious by Counselor Nanke's statement tonight. It wasn't simply Counselor Benjamin's pushing a button. That was it's a constant pattern. The fact that Counselor Nanke spent his time making excuses shows just how far this council has to come. Making excuses for this type of behavior is perpetrating it. Shame on you, counselor. I encourage you to educate yourself. Our counselor is not representative of our community. You can look at it and see. I encourage folks who are outside of the business interests, specifically the Chamber of Commerce, to look at running for Ward 6. I'd also like to address the online cyberbullying that 2 officers in our community engaged in. This needs to be immediately addressed for folks to feel safe. The fact that so many local government officials find it appropriate to act in this manner shows how corruption runs rampant in our city government. And again, I'd like to say, please encourage yourself, Councilman Nanke. That was really unacceptable. Thank you.
I want to again reiterate, applause is not appropriate in this forum. If there's another burst of applause, we will recess. If you want to be at the podium and you want to speak, please let other people speak. Don't spoil the opportunity for others to be able to speak at the podium by disrupting this proceedings. I hope that's very clear. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Cameron Kershel. I'm a resident of Ward 1. And I wanted to talk more about the elephant in the room tonight, racism. I know a lot of members of the community have commented on this, pointed at it, but I want to be very clear that it's here, that we can all see it, and that no one denies that it exists. I heard a lot of words, many encouraging, from our city councilors tonight. Words like disgusting, horrifying, reprehensible, unprofessional, unbecoming, but I only heard the word racism once, and that was to refute or call into question it as a motivating factor. And I think that's surprising to a lot of people here because a lot of people perceived it as the main motivating factor. But I think that speaks to the deepness of the divides in our nation and our community, that on an issue of racism, we can't even agree on a textbook definition of what constitutes racism or what doesn't constitute racism. And of course, we can go for days and weeks over every word said, not said, every action in an individual's lifespan to try and argue over whether it constituted racism or not, but I don't think that will heal those divides. I think we have to focus on what we do agree on, and hopefully what we can all learn from this, because I think the ultimate lesson isn't specific to Councilor Benjamin or specific to his post, but more to the inevitability of racially charged incidents like this in an increasingly diverse community represented by a homogenous body. What our founding fathers would call a tyranny of the majority. Because the ultimate violence in a democratic society isn't when someone else exercises their freedom of speech against you, but when you're speech when your representation is silenced. So moving forward, I want the question on every issue that comes before this city council to be, who will speak for those who cannot? When we talk about the third bridge, who will speak for the Kalapuya, whose ancestral lands run directly underneath it and perhaps even burial grounds? When we talk about urban renewal, who will speak for Latinos and Latinas and people of color in the communities that face the threat of gentrification? In this upcoming election for the vacated ward, who will speak for these communities? Councillor Benjamin certainly couldn't and didn't. I can't, and unless I'm mistaken, I don't believe anyone on this council can. So I encourage everyone on the council and in the community to participate, to make your voice heard, and you know that words are great, words are beautiful, but what we need to show is a commitment to diversity, and that commitment requires action. Thank you very much.